I'm sure you've already heard the tragic news. You might still be in tears about it, and I'm not really here just to reopen the wound and pour salt in it, but I think it's important we talk about what's going on. Last night, Pokimane was banned from Twitch. She was banned for watching Avatar: The Last Airbender on stream, but she took it like a champ. She was making a joke about it, saying the Fire Nation attacked, but they're releasing her in 48 hours, so she got a 48-hour suspension for it. This DMCA was handed down by Viacom, the fucking boogeyman of the internet. You do not want to mess with Viacom. If you even think you accidentally saw a clip of something Viacom owns, make sure that you scrub everything. Call your fucking lawyers immediately, and make sure when you go to bed, you're sleeping on your back. You don't want to sleep on your stomach in that case, because Viacom will come in while you're asleep and fuck you in your ass. Viacom is ruthless with how it enforces its rules and its copyright. Viacom will go through your goddamn 8th grade report card, check your SAT scores, look for any parking violations you might have had, and they will just look for anything to slap you with and ruin your life over. They are truly relentless. You might not remember this, but back in 2007, Viacom sued YouTube for $1 billion. Viacom alleged that YouTube was engaging in brazen copyright violations where they were profiting off of their copyrighted work with all of these creators uploading their material, which is illegal. And they sued YouTube. It took 3 years for the first decision, which was in YouTube's favor, but then Viacom came back. Some of it was overturned, but ultimately in 2014, YouTube did come out on top. But while YouTube may have won, creators still lost, because do you know what came as a result of this? The automated copyright system, which is still being abused and broken to this day. This situation's super similar to what's happening on Twitch right now, with creators brazenly engaging in copyright violations where they're knowingly broadcasting copyrighted work in their entirety, and they know full well and openly admit that it is a DMCA problem and they just want to see how far they can push it. And when people bring up that this could have a bigger impact on the site than just their personal streams, they usually are just met with the streamer saying they don't really care. They'll just take the DMCA ban for 2 days and then be back like it's no big deal, which is a pretty selfish and silly take, because there is clearly a history they can look at to see how it negatively impacted the entire platform. I'll get into that a bit deeper in a moment, but just off the top of my head, if I had to quickly spitball a potential apocalypse, like an upcoming doomsday if this problem continues, I feel like Twitch might just revert to how it was back in like 2015, where they outright frown upon reaction content on their platform, where they don't really allow YouTube videos to be played and watched on Twitch. Back then, if I remember correctly, even some big streamers did receive like some warnings or even a ban from watching YouTube content. The meta for watching and reacting to content back then was you'd have the big screen, like the main screen, be RuneScape or League, whatever game, and then a small box in the corner for the YouTube video you were reacting to. That's how people skirted that policy, where they just didn't like them doing that back then. So I feel like if this trend continues of just watching full movie series, full TV shows, full seasons of anime, Twitch might just rip the condom off and say it's not worth it anymore. We're not taking this risk. We obviously can't trust our streamers to watch shit on the platform anymore. They're just blatantly disregarding DMCA laws. We're going to pull the plug on YouTube and reaction content, because as more companies get alerted to this, it could be more of a disaster for Twitch. They might just feel that it's better and safer for them to just not allow it. Again, it was frowned upon back in 2015, early Twitch days. YouTube as a streaming service already doesn't allow its streamers to watch YouTube content on there. Ludwig's been banned fucking 3 times in a row for it. So the precedent's already there, where watching YouTube content on stream, other people's streams, is in a super weird gray area. And by these big streamers constantly poking this bear of like, hey, we don't care about DMCA, look what we're doing, it could be a much bigger problem for not just them, but everyone. Because if Twitch does go this route and get rid of reacting to content, that hurts a lot more than just the top 20 biggest streamers. That's a big blow to like everyone who streams on the platform and does more than just gaming from time to time. Again, not saying that's going to happen, but I could definitely see it as a possibility. And she's not the only one that's just been watching full movies and TV shows on stream. It's become kind of the Twitch meta at this point to just watch entire movies and anime. So this whole thing led to a bigger conversation of people asking how stupid are Twitch streamers. Just a lot of people online everywhere just saying how fucking dumb streamers are. This is something I think everyone saw coming. I don't believe there's anyone in the world that's surprised by this DMCA here. I don't think anyone just fucking shot back in their chair, just shocked and spilt apple juice all over themselves going, hey, what do you mean I can't watch my favorite streamer watch the new Spider-Man movie that they downloaded on the Pirate Bay and stream on Twitch? What kind of bullshit is this? What happened to freedom? Obviously, watching full movies, TV shows, and anime is going to get you in trouble on Twitch. You can't do that. Thinking otherwise is like believing in the fucking tooth fairy or flat earth. Like, there is very clearly a line of things you can and can't watch on Twitch. And watching the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy uninterrupted is definitely crossing that line. I'd like to go ahead and quickly jump into the fair use debate and tackle that bad boy, because I see a lot of people defending this by saying this falls into fair use. Fair use is a law that's fucking lost all meaning to people on the internet. It has been bastardized beyond recognition. Fair use means less than the word literally now. People use this for defense of everything, even when it's not applicable, like in this case. You can't take, like, Jake Paul versus Logan Paul boxing match. You can't take that and put it on Twitch, even if you're just commentating over the whole thing. You can't do that. You may have paid for that match, but you can't just freely broadcast it to people who can't, no matter what you do to it to transform it. That is no longer fair use. Fair use is applicable when you're taking pieces of copyrighted content for critique, for review, for satire, for parody. You can take pieces of it and showcase it for your points on the topic and transform it, but you can't just take the entire copyrighted work, like the entire Avatar: The Last Airbender show, and freely broadcast it to people that haven't paid for the service to watch it. That's not how that works. That's not protected by fair use. Like right now, the front page of Twitch is kind of looking like the old artifacts section from a couple years ago, when that was basically just this cum dumpster for pirated movies and porn. If you guys remember that, Artifact, God rest its soul, used to be this place on Twitch where you just go and watch like the new Avengers movie or watch porn with the chat. It was wild time. That's kind of evolved now, and now we're reaching like its final evolution, where now the biggest streamers on the platform are just watching, pirated content, or just full movies and shows that they may have purchased and are now rebroadcasting for people that haven't, which is a problem. So I'm not going to name any names. I'm not here to snitch, even though it's not like some kind of well-kept secret. This isn't something flying under the radar, because a lot of the top 20 biggest streamers on the site are the ones watching this anime and TV shows in their entirety. This isn't exactly something that's going on in dark alleys and talked about in hushed whispers. There's like fucking 40,000 people per stream watching the streamers watching anime. So it's not exactly like you have to go to fucking deep web to find it. It's literally like on the front page sometimes. But even still, I'm not going to name any names here. I'm not here to raise my hand in front of the class and call somebody out for chewing gum or anything. Now, it's no secret that I also watch a lot of YouTube content on my Twitch streams, watch some clips from shows on my streams. In fact, last night I did a YouTube night at twitch.tv/moistcritical, baby. We got real fucking wild last night. You definitely don't want to miss it again. I'll put a link in the description to the streams. When I'm watching YouTube shit on stream, it's usually really obscure shit that has like less than 1,000 views, filmed on a Motorola Razr, or it's content that I'm pausing to talk about in order to make a topic out of or joke with the chat about it. Like, for example, when we watch the scary, haunted, cursed videos, like Nuke's top 5 ghost sightings that'll make your mother spit on you because she's so afraid of these videos, I'll pause it, talk about paranormal garbage, or joke about the video back and forth with the chat, and usually just like to make it a transformative piece where it never really feels like I'm just rebroadcasting someone else's content. I just usually like to stay away from like the big TV shows and shit like that. But now in the past I haven't. Like 2 years ago I used to watch a lot of MasterChef, which has become the trend on Twitch right now to watch MasterChef. I was doing that fucking 2 years ago, baby. I was the pioneer, the goddamn founder of MasterChef. I made that goddamn show, damn it. So yeah, like back then I would watch MasterChef and shit, and even recently, like a year ago, I was watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Singapore dub, which again is definitely in that gray area of, is this DMCA-able? And the answer was probably yes. It was an unofficial upload of the Singapore Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub that I was watching, because I thought the Singapore dub was great, since they only had like 4 voice actors to do the entire show, and they did it in English, where the translation was dreadfully wrong. Like Blue Eyes White Dragon was called like the Blue Lizard Platinum Squirter or something. It was a lot of fun, and I did react to that content on Twitch, but yeah, that was probably a DMCA risk as well. So I've steered clear of that for the last year or so, because I want to make more of a conscious effort to not skirt this gray area that would lead to maybe a potentially bad situation for the whole platform. But with this trend right now, the new Twitch meta to be just broadcasting copyrighted material, there's a big problem that can arise from this, and I'd like to get into it now. So, like with the YouTube versus Viacom case, that very well could happen on Twitch with what's going on right now. And who knows if it will or not. Maybe it really will just be people getting DMCA'd for 2 days here and there if they continue to do it, and that's where it ends. They wash their hands of it and it never goes further. Every streamer was losing their minds about the DMCA because of music, where they'd have like copyrighted music that would play in the background and they get a strike or ban for it from years of content. And people made such a big hoopla about it, like, this is unreal, this is so, we hate the DMCA, we don't ever want to mess with them, we're so afraid of them, so everyone deleted all their clips and scrubbed their VODs. And now fast forward to today where they're openly encouraging DMCA to like enforce rules on the Twitch platform against them. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. It's very similar to the Viacom versus YouTube case, but I also think Twitch is in a worse spot than YouTube was, because Twitch can't make the claim YouTube did of they don't know whether or not the content being uploaded is paid for and licensed or if it is illegally uploaded. Twitch knows all of it that's on Twitch right now is illegal broadcasting of copyrighted material. And they can't pretend they don't know what's going on because it's the biggest streamers on the platform that's doing it. And even in some of the streams, Twitch staff will literally subscribe and engage in a conversation about the anime. I've seen that in a couple streams now, which is, it's fun and goofy, but it's also illegal. So Twitch can't make the same claims YouTube did back in 2007. They know all of it is not licensed because the streamers are very forthcoming with their honesty that we know this is DMCA, but we don't care. They're openly saying we're just pushing it to see how far this meta can go. It's obviously a very dangerous game to be playing. While I don't think Twitch will ever see an automated copyright system like YouTube implemented, it will probably see something equally as strict. If I had to guess, if this does continue, I would imagine Twitch at some point will just outright ban the watching and reacting of other people's content on their platform. I think that's the most likely result if this problem continues or even escalates, and as more companies get alerted to it. I feel like that's really the only thing Twitch would do. That'd be their only course of action. Because right now, the way it stands, Twitch just says, we don't take responsibility for what they're broadcasting. If you have a problem with it, you will manually go and take it down. And that's worked so far, but that's because most streamers have understood not to just play movies and TV shows. Up until like 2 weeks ago, that's just been the understanding streamers have had with Twitch. Like, hey, we know that you're giving us a lot of leeway with what we're allowed to watch on Twitch, so we'll return the favor by being smart about what we're actually watching on stream. And then fucking the dam broke, the floodgates have opened, now everything's being streamed on Twitch by big streamers, partnered streamers. And that's a bad look for the platform. So if their hand is forced, I feel like the direction they'd go is they just ban watching YouTube altogether. Like, for instance, during one of those YouTuber boxing events, it got rehosted on Twitch, and that was kind of a nightmare for them. But they managed to get themselves out of that one, again, by saying, like, hey, we can't control everything here. And back then, the channels that were rehosting that material, which was illegal, those were small channels that were literally throwaway bot accounts, not your big partnered streamers. Now, if your big partnered streamers are doing this, now it's a lot more serious that Twitch has to be like, hey, we're going to probably need to do something or else we might face bigger consequences. Again, might not happen. I'm just saying it could. Either way, it's pretty obvious that this is a pretty bad idea overall and something that I wanted to talk about because it would affect me. I'm on Twitch every day. I stream every day. I do YouTube nights like once or twice a week. And they're a lot of fun. I like to watch a lot of weird and wacky content. And if something does come from this that impacts that, I'd be upset. So yeah, just wanted to bring all this up. That's about it. So yeah.